Island Mogul.
We in the building.
Hello, it's Island Mogul. We all went episode number 10.
Number 10, man.
Number 10, man. It's your boy Shane.
It's your boy Dante.
I hope y'all having a good day, a good week. Whenever y'all watching this, man, we've been working. Every time we come on, you know, it feels like there's more of a gap in time, but just know that we all working.
We moving.
You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of things going on, but tonight, whatever you want to call it, man, is a very, very special night, man.
Yes, it is, man.
It's one of the moments where you just, you know, you gotta like pat yourself on the back and be like, man, I'm actually doing something.
Yes.
I got a little motion, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I didn't really, you know what I'm saying, stepped up, but on some real shit, I'm just very elated to be able to have this person on set with us tonight, man. He's someone that has been pioneering the game and the culture for a while. I would describe him as a thought leader in our culture, you know what I'm saying? Someone that searches for truth in their music and shares that with us. And you know, like he said all the time, man, he ain't told a lie in one of his songs yet. Tell the truth in all the songs, right? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, please give a warm welcome, man, to our brother, our Uso, man, Dallas&Kacey.
Yes, sir.
Having me, man. I feel undeserving of that intro, bro. I appreciate it, though, for sure. Man. We've been running into each other a lot lately, so it's been overdue that I pull up, man.
On that note, man, how you feeling, bro? We like you said, we've been running into each other here and there, but like, how are you feeling right now at this present moment?
Man, right now I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling comfortable. You know, I'm happy to be here. You know what they say, every day above ground.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to be here with y'all, man.
Yeah.
Happy to chop it down, see what's going on.
Yep. Yeah, man. And in case y'all haven't seen, man, I got to give a quick shout out to Sis's Dear Meat book, man. It's right here on the table, man. If you haven't tapped in and got your issue, man, you got to get that, man. It's just something good for the heart, good for the mind. You know what I'm saying? Something to inspire you.
Yes.
You did your thing on that girl, you know what I'm saying? So
definitely.
Look, her name is on this book. You feel me? Her name is on this book, and she has a picture. She wrote every single word in here. That is such a mind-blowing thing to me, and it's I'm very proud of you, sis. I'm very, very proud of you. It makes me want to be a better man, fool. I got to step my game up for sure, man.
That's a big deal, right there.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. So the most recent time we ran into each other was at the By the Sanctuary show.
For sure.
This happened a few days ago. Shout out to Nick and Nina for throwing that, man.
Beautiful.
Great, man. And you actually had the opportunity to bless the stage and something you haven't done in a while. How did it feel being up there sharing music, man? New music too.
For sure. Yeah. No, it felt good, man. It's definitely, like you said, it's been a minute since I performed. And it just felt good to be up there again. I had a little bit of nerves, like, you know, thinking about the show, leading up to it. But once I got up there, it's like riding a bike, you know. Felt right at home. And like I told you earlier, just felt like I need to be doing it more, you know what I'm saying?
I feel it. Hey, bro, I'm gonna let you know, man. This gonna be one of them interviews where you gotta fight for your questions, man. Because I'm
already knowing. I already know how he feeling about this. I'm gonna just jump in. I might have to cut him off a couple of times.
You gonna have to.
But man, I'm gonna just cut you off right here, right now. That was my first time getting to see you perform, and like that was a full circle moment. You know what I'm saying? I remember the first time I ever heard one of your songs. I was young, like I can still say I was a kid. You know, it was a long time ago. When I first heard one of your first songs I ever got exposed to. And then seeing you to perform new music today and seeing the whole path of it all so far, man, it's crazy. I'm proud of you. I just wanted to let you know that, man, before we get any further. Man, I'm proud of you.
It's been a long time coming, for sure.
Yeah, man, I told bro and people on my team, man, like when we started this, there was a bucket list of interviews that we had to, you know what I'm saying, just be able to have experience. And Dallas&Kacey was right there on that list, man. And so it feels good to be able to, you know, check that off the list.
Yes, and it's an honor to be here, man.
Yeah, man.
But let's not get too close, man. He might not fuck with what we talking about. He might walk off on us. You know what I'm saying? We haven't had that yet. You know what I'm saying?
We haven't had that.
No, we're going to run it up, though, for sure.
Yeah, man. But, I mean, for those of you who don't know Dallas, man, you've been in the game for over a decade and the music side of things. Just hearing that, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of mind-blowing because, you know, I feel like you haven't even really hit near where you could be potential-wise. Like, we've only seen, you know, glimpses of your greatness, but to be able to say that you've been in this space for over 10 years, man, most people can't even do anything for that span of time, man. Yeah. So to be able to be in that space, man, taking you back to the first song I ever heard of yours was Flower from Heaven. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That was like early in your career, but I know you had stuff even before that, like 2012, 2011. Right. So, but that was the first song that I ever heard, and I was just like, man, it just the amount of vulnerability and honesty and introspection that you feel when you heard the song, it was just different. You know what I'm saying? And so that was my introduction to you. What was the first song you heard?
Yeah, it was actually Fire from Heaven as well.
That's a good one. It still slaps.
Nah, it still slaps. Like it's funny because even we slap it today. Like, and it's now that I'm a part of Island Mogul. We do a lot of music stuff. And I remember the first time you sent us an exclusive. I remember we were sitting in the back. I was playing it, and my brother-in-law Zion pulls up. He's like, "Hey, bro, who's that?" I was like, "Bro, it's Dallas&Kacey." He was like, "What?" He was going crazy, and like we were reminiscing from seeing the exclusive. We went back and we started playing the old stuff. Like, hey, this is what I got put on. This is what I got put on.
Yeah.
And so, jumping from that time, like it's a how do I explain it? That song for me was it proved to me that in our culture, in our community, even young cats, we can still write. We go crazy with it.
Sure.
We go crazy with being able to bring the image in your head onto paper and start delivering it to people. So
Right.
that's a hard process, man.
That song felt like a lifetime ago, man. I can't remember the last time I played that one myself, but I think that was probably the one that a lot of people first heard me on. That one kind of, I think that might have been the first song that I put out, the second song I put out under G-Raj. So, that was definitely in the early stages. We were still trying to get that buzz going, and that one felt like something for sure.
Man, you kind of already brought it up, but I wanted to tap into that. Just there's a whole history in that movement itself. You like G-Raj, anybody know Baby Down and Syph and that whole movement, Germs, and just like, can you kind of talk about that history? Because I feel like there's just certain pieces of our culture musically that don't get enough recognition. You know what I'm saying? That's a big movement. A lot of people came out of that camp.
Yeah, for sure. That was well, it was already a thing before I got there. So, it was I want to say it was Chaz, Tanel, Baby Down, and Syph were all the artists. Forgive me if I'm missing somebody, but I'm pretty sure that was who was there. And I had just put out a project on my own, the Cloud 7 mixtape, and they kind of reached out to me. They said they liked my sound and they wanted to tap in with me. So I went over there and we had a few sessions, and then it kind of just became official, like, for me to go over there and be a part of the team. And then they also brought over Swish, Swisher Sweet, also from the West, and Isaiah, Pete. He was from the camp too. So yeah, man, that was years ago. But those relationships that I built, man, it helped me a lot. Not only as a person, but as an artist too. Just that was my first time really being in a creative space with so many other rappers. You know what I'm saying? And you got to come correct. Every song we do together, you can't slack, because Syph gonna come with it, Swish gonna come with it, Down is gonna, you can't out style the downstairs. You know what I'm saying? So, it kind of felt like I had to grow up quick in that environment, but it was for the better for sure. And then Chaz producing everything and
shout out Chaz, man.
Shout out
legend for sure.
For sure.
So during that, I want not to give away your age or anything like that, but when was that? How old were you at that time? And I guess what we have like different chapters in life. Like, where were you at in your life at that time?
I was fresh out of high school, man. 18.
Well, high school, go ahead and shout it out, man.
Yeah, you already know. They say it's two type of people in Long Beach, man. You either went to Parley or you did.
Yeah. All that.
The infamous Poly.
No.
I went to Pal, but I still.
He was one of the ones that wish he went to Poly.
Ain't no diploma say Parley.
No, Pal was a disc.
All the
badass.
I know some badass kids that went there. Never mind.
But it's still Poly.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's
Okay. Still Parley, yo.
You bad kid, man.
That's where the real ones went. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you say you were fresh out of high school at that time in your life, and looking into getting into music, and you mentioned Tanel. Like, people got to realize, like, this is like early Tanel.
Yeah.
This is like early Sammy Johnson. I know he wasn't part of the camp, but I'm just trying to give it, like, kind of creating the picture here. Like, this is like early Sammy J. Like, Common Kings was just starting to really hit their stride. You know what I'm saying? You had Boog. It was I want to describe it as like just Polynesian music was really going up.
Yeah,
for sure.
It was starting to spark, man.
Yeah. So that's when Deezy and Ado and all those guys out up north were going. So it's like, were you seeing it at that age, or were you just kind of focused on your lane? How were you experiencing that part of the culture at that time?
I mean, I think you definitely see it, just being in the music space and also being a fan of the culture. You can't help but see everybody who's doing their thing at the time. But also, we had a lot going on in-house. Like I listed off earlier, there was so many of us right there in the same room. And so I think we got hyper-focused on just our mission and what we wanted to do. And in the process of making the music, we don't really take into consideration how it's going to be received or, what the people might like. We honing in on the vision that we have. And so from that aspect, when it comes to creating, we didn't really, you know what I'm saying? We weren't too influenced by it, but you can't say you didn't see it for sure.
Yeah,
It was going on. Everybody
sure.
was,
Man, it was like also too, like YouTube was still starting to crack off, so anybody could just get up there and just post a song and cover. The covers was going
Covers
crazy.
going
With
crazy at the
everybody
time.
had the ook, man.
Everybody did.
So yeah, it was an exciting time to be a part of the music scene and the culture. And now I feel like we're kind of in that second wave where people are,
Yes,
so you're
I
starting
could
to
agree to
see a lot of that. But kind of before we dive into what's happening now, I kind of really want to tap in and kind of get to know, obviously I would describe your approach to music is very like, and I don't like comparing art, but in terms of how I feel when I listen to a Nas, I get the same feeling that I get when I listen to a Dallas song because, when you grow up in the environments that we grew up in, you either participate actively or you might take a observatory approach and just, I see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I see what's happening over here. And you might take that energy and channel it into something else.
right.
You might be a filmmaker, you might be a athlete, but for you, music was the way you took in what you've seen and you interpreted through your music. So, like, can you kind of talk about your early beginnings and being in the environments that we all grew up in, and kind of your early experience into the hood, gangs, and all that shit was happening?
Yeah, well, I grew up on the west side in Long Beach, but I also spent a lot of time with my mom's family in Compton. I feel like it was 50-50 in my childhood, and so I was the only child till I was 10 years old. But I had a lot of cousins that were my age growing up, and we were definitely outside and we were seeing the streets for what it was. But we also, I feel like our parents did a great job of letting us be kids. You know what I'm saying? And so our childhood was fun, and we definitely seen the crazy shit. But when I look back on my childhood, it's 90% happy memories. It's joyous times, and so much of my family's from Long Beach. Like on my dad's side, my grandma and my grandpa, everybody's from the West. So just growing up here, I had nothing but family around all the time. But just living on the West, period, you gonna see it.
Yeah.
You gonna get banged on and the whole thing. But I also spent a lot of time in Compton, like I said, and over there at my grandma's house, it's all church. We rosaries at the house every night, and everybody's at church on Sunday. So I feel like just growing up in both of those environments, it kind of just allowed me to kind of stand in the middle and look around, as opposed to being pulled too far on one side. I had a lot of balance growing up and what I was seeing and what I was being influenced by. So, the scale was never tipped too far one way. And I feel like that helped me a lot for sure.
Man, that's dope. That's dope that you were able to be able to have that balance. You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
To be able to have a strong faith attached to, because I feel like without that, you know what I'm saying, it's very easy to go.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Without
yeah.
one or the other, I definitely would have
Yeah.
went full-fledged the other way. But yeah, man, it was all there for me. And for all of us really in my family that's my age, we all kind of had a pretty good balance of things to where we didn't get pulled too far in any direction. So, I feel like we were kids when we were supposed to be kids, and when it was time to grow up, we grew up. But it was good though.
Brother,
I wouldn't want to have grown up anywhere else. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
I'm sure, San Diego, there's a lot of overlap with Long Beach, but just when you grow up, in these neighborhoods that we grow up in, I feel like you don't even realize the amount of danger or just,
No, for sure.
just like,
No, for real.
yeah, you don't realize until you get older. You're like, damn, like this shit was really cracking over here.
Yeah.
I was over here riding my bike, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just not, obviously as you get older, you become more aware of your surroundings, but I don't feel like you understand the full scope of it until you get much
No,
older.
No, for sure. And it was like I can remember like my peoples used to stay on the north, and so we'll go swim at the lane ports. We'll go swim, and then after we swim, everybody's hungry, so we'll go to the liquor store real quick. So we'll all just throw shirts on. And I remember before we were walking out, my Uncle Junior was like, "Hey, everybody wearing a white tee, got to change that. Put a black tee on." And at the time, I didn't even know what that was. And even around that time, that's when everybody's cousin, just because that's the vocabulary around, we don't even know what cuz mean like that.
Yeah.
And so, my dad and my uncles definitely checked us early on, like, you know, watch what you wearing, watch what you saying, watch who you around, where you going. And you know, from just being told that one time, it just made you think like, damn, why we can't wear white tees around here?
Yeah.
And as you grow up or as you look back, it's like, no, that make you a target, unfortunately, you know.
Man, it's crazy, bro. You mentioned a particular apartments that if you're from the north, you would just know the lane for. I grew up.
Yeah.
I lived at the park in the Parkwoods.
Parkwood. Y'all had the playground.
We had
for
the
sure.
playground, the pink and everything. But I remember sliding through the lane portion and Acre Fields. You know what I'm saying? That was that time. Just being a teen, a young person growing up. It was like you said, a lot of happy, but it was a lot of danger too.
For sure.
You know, but it kind of brings me to what you said earlier. Like, I don't know about you, but when I was younger, bro, like gang culture, especially a lot of my family was from the set. So I was seeing it, and you know how you see like LeBron or Kobe, you know what I'm saying? Those were my Kobe's and my LeBrons,
sure.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm seeing them in a white tee with the blue Dickies, you know what I'm saying? Rag on the left side with the Chucks, hopping out the, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, bro, like I want to be that. And it just got me thinking, like, when you're a kid, the thing that you're the closest to, that's typically what you want to be like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I definitely had you know, my pops and my uncles, and I feel like everybody around me from my pop's side was all from the set. But like you said, when you're that close to it, like you definitely see the lingo. You know, it's a culture. They have a wardrobe that they wear. They have things that they do. They have a language that they speak. Yes. And so, you know, you gravitate towards that. But, you know, this is my close family. So the same dudes that I see pull up in the old school on Sunday, I also see them on Monday morning taking their kids to school or going to work. You know, I see them playing golf together. And, you know, it's a community outside of just a gang where they really family and they really, you know, they get with each other on a daily basis. We swim together and, you know, we planning outings to wild rivers or raging waters, whatever it is. So, you know, I feel like we were drawn less to like the outward things that we saw, less to the clothes and the lingo. Obviously, we around it, so we picked it up. But we also saw them like, you know, we saw a brotherhood between them growing up, and it's still that to this day. So in addition to everything else, it's like, man, we see them play cards and Monopoly and chess together. So, you know, we wanted to bond more than anything. But so I really don't feel like music was my escape, but that also came from them too, because, you know, growing up on Kanye, you know, I love sample beats, and then you grow up and hear what my pops and them play every day. It's like, you know, samples galore, all the old schools you could want. So definitely the music came from them too, for sure. But I don't feel like it was my escape, man. I didn't have to escape from it. They never pushed it on us. And, you know, yeah.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing, man.
Yeah.
I mean, on the music side of things, there's a picture that it's on the internet somewhere, but it was your album cover for your first project.
We gotta get that off the internet.
You had the prom. It was the prom.
Hey man, chill out, bro. Chill out, bro. Yeah, it was my prom suit.
He had it over the shoulder. I think he had the, you know what I'm saying?
I definitely didn't do that. Don't do me like that. No, I still had the coat on.
It's gonna pop up on the screen.
He tried to put the coat on my shoulder. Don't do me like that, bro. I definitely had. I think I might have had a leg up though, posted on the garage wall. Yeah, that was my early. I think that was before Chad started teaching me how to graphic design. Man, I was just trying to do things. You know? I was like, that picture looked cool.
But so like going back to, because we had a conversation about this a while ago as a team. It was like, I don't want to take it too far, but it was like,
yeah, don't air me out.
No.
Come on, bro.
It was as an internal thing. It was like, I feel like back in the days, man, like it wasn't so much pressure to be cool, to have the coolest graphics.
Yeah.
Like everybody's MySpace picture had like, hella, it was man. You know what I'm saying? But
everybody was dusty.
That's what I'm saying. But now your shit gotta be top tier.
It has to be. You have to be shooting a 4K. Like your camera has to be $15,000. Like, you know what I mean? Back in the day, you should just be a phone. You know what I'm saying? I used to flip, take me a little selfie.
That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you got to flip the phone this way.
Yeah. It was really simple. It was just like, but now it's just a different time. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to put extra scoops on whatever they're doing and make it look like whatever. But when I go back and listen to even that project, this was 2012, 2011? 11. Yep. Okay. We're 12 years?
Yeah, I remember that's 11 because I used my graduation party money to fund that studio time.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's commitment right there, man.
But when I press play on it, even today, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, like stylistically and skill wise you've evolved, but like essence, it was damn, this dude is coming with truth. He's coming with like a very powerful message, even from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
Have you always been that intentional about the art you create?
Man, it's hard to say that I was intentional in high school, but like you said, I'm kind of still on the same tip now. So I think more than anything, it was just who I was as a person, you know, who my parents and my family raised me to be. And it just naturally came out through the music. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I was like, let me rap about this or let me rap about that. But also I grew up on, you know, rappers who spoke about real shit and what they actually been through and, you know, the good and the bad, whether it was, you know, like Kanye Through the Wire or 50 with the same similar situation. It's like, you know, whatever you going through, you just gotta, you know, take that shit on the chin and make it look fly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that was my approach more than like, all right, let me talk about, because I was talking about all type of shit on that first album. But yeah, I think it was just more so a manifestation of who I actually was as a high schooler, just coming out natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go back and look at that project and then even projects after that,
don't go back and look at it, man. You can listen to it. Don't look at it though.
hey, look, what I'm gonna say is
nasty.
like this guy done slimmed down, man. It ain't the same. I mean, saying you done transformed, bro. Like obviously, you know, with age comes a lot of lessons, but you really I've seen taking your health to a whole new level, and the transformation is one to applaud, man. Tell me about, you know what I'm saying, the whole this whole new health regimen you got going on, man, and all the weight you lost, and you look good, bro.
I appreciate it, bro. Yeah. No, it took a lot to get here, man. I think I really started on my shit like 2021.
Okay.
I think coming out of quarantine and everything. And man, bro, I had like something going on with me where every day I just wake up and when I stand up, I'd be off balance and dizzy. My stomach would trip every day and I didn't know what was going on. So I started eliminating stuff out of my diet, couldn't figure it out. But eventually, long story short, I went to the doctor, got everything squared away, did the whole antibiotics thing. But just going through that, I realized like your whole thing is what you eat, how you feel, how you gonna look. You know, everything is what you eat. And so just from feeling that for like maybe, I think it was a year, feeling like shit every day, waking up, I was like, man, I can't do this no more, bro. Like, if this the life I'm gonna live, it ain't, you know what I'm saying? I gotta get it together. You feel me? And so that kind of inspired everything. And so I started super like strict where I eat like a rabbit, you know what I'm saying? Strictly fruits and vegetables. And now I'm finally starting to open up again, but definitely, you know, just try to prioritize my health so I can be here long term for my family. And then also going through that, I learned about the connection between your gut health and your mental health. You know what I'm saying? And how what you eat directly affects how you think and how you feel and how clear everything is. So, you know, from there, it was just a no-brainer. Like, if this is what I want and this is what it's going to take to get there, then I just got to do it. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm acai bowl, I'm coconut water.
I see you, man.
I'm big vegetables and all that. But it's been working, bro. I feel a lot better.
My life, man.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, you know, I'm a small guy, but I feel like shit every day. I feel like shit. And I mean, obviously the camera, I'm not helping much of it, but I mean, at the same time, though, I do understand like the stuff I've consumed, like it'd be fucking me up. Like, let's say, for example, we went to Five Eyes spot, Border Hungry. And like, that was my first time ever actually having a vegan burger. And I was like, hey, man, like, just don't taste too far off from a regular burger. So like, you know what I'm saying? But then I started having a conversation with him of how much your physical health can actually affect your mental. And I feel like that's something that's going on in my life. And so to see, you know, you going through the motion, going through this process, and a long process, you say, and you get to a point in your life where you feel the change. You know what I mean? Like I think I believe in myself that I seek that. Like I think that's the major change I needed in my life, man.
You should try it, bro. I think you'll feel the change right away, for sure. And I try not to push it too hard on people because it's like, you know, nobody hates somebody who's been broke their whole life, then they get one check and they looking at you like, you broke? You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I feel with the health journey. It's like, man, I've been big my whole life. I just started figuring this out. So, you know, when I post what I'm eating or when I talk to people, I kind of just throw it out there to where when they come to that point in their journey where they could go either way, you know, maybe just seeing the choices that I made to help them make that choice too. But I can't force nobody, you know. Other than my immediate family, my brothers and my parents, I'll be on them. But everybody else is like, you know, you'll get there when you get there.
I feel like that's a conversation that just needs to be had within our culture. You know what I mean? Like in our community, we already know how it is. Like once all of all of our events. You know, the food is on deck, bro.
Fire,
you know what I'm saying? That shit.
And that's when it's the hardest. Is when I got a family function and I'm like, man, I can't eat that. I can't eat that. I can't eat that.
So like that discipline you have right there, man. I applaud that. I applaud that.
Yeah, it's not easy, man. I cut sugar, cut dairy, cut wheat.
Damn.
So you know, I'm all. If it's not straight from the earth, really, I'm all organic. I can't do it.
Man.
And now when I do, you know, try to venture out just a little bit and maybe eat something sweet, I feel it right away that it don't sit well in my body no more. So, you know, that on top of biking and hooping, how you right, bro?
Ain't that a trip though? Like you be craving healthy food. Like it's
Yeah, for sure.
It's like because you know you go from like craving burgers and fries to like,
Yep.
man, I really want a smoothie right now. Like you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like
man. if you can go a month or two without sugar, you'll see how much you crave it only when you eat it. You know what I'm saying? You stop sugar for 2 months, you're gonna be tripping out how you don't even want it no more.
man, bro, on the topic of eating, man, I know you was recently traveling somewhere.
For sure.
And I saw some of the food you was posting. Was it Costa Rica or
Costa
somewhere?
Rica, yep.
Man, besides, I know you traveled a lot. You know
Hell,
what I'm saying?
I was just about to say that. This man is a traveler. I don't know. Shit, I be keeping up. Like, man, where you at now?
Hey, run through the list real quick. Just a quick little run through.
Yeah,
some of the
where you
places
been so far, brother?
Man, we've been to Thailand, we've been to Bali, we've been to the Philippines, we've been to Peru, Colombia, El Salvador, Brazil, Costa Rica now. Shoot, that might be it. I feel on the spot right now.
No, you're good. Can we throw it back to that? I seen your story, man, where you and Suka were talking about this Samoan man that you
Oh
met.
yeah.
Can we talk about that
crazy.
story? Because I feel like I was watching the story and I felt like, whoa, like that's just crazy as hell.
No, that was crazy. So, yeah, man, that's a trip because I tapped in with him. He on Instagram with me now, so he gonna trip out that I'm telling the story. But it was our first Airbnb. We just got to Costa Rica from the airport, and we pull up to our first hotel, and from the taxi, we can see like the check-in lobby's outdoors. So I look over, I see this tall dude. He got facial hair. I told Suka, I was like, he looks Samoan. But we in the middle of Costa Rica.
Right.
Yeah, like chances, you know. So we kind of laughed it off. And then my girl got out, and she went to go check in for us, and I'm dealing with the taxi. And by the time I got to them, she was like, he just told me he's Samoan. I'm like, nah, no way. So it turned out, I think it was his great-grandparents were full Samoan and full Hawaiian. And they left the islands during the German rule. And I think they landed in El Salvador, didn't like it, went to Nicaragua, didn't like it, and they ended up in Costa Rica because it felt so much like home. But that was a trip, man. He was like the first, aside from the taxi driver, he was the first person we met in Costa Rica. And he said that my girl and I were the first Samoans he's ever met. He born and raised there, you know. And he said he'd be trying to learn about the culture through YouTube, but you know, it's hard when you don't have nobody around you to,
for real.
to bounce nothing off of or learn with you. So, yeah, it was a trip for sure.
I feel like that's a crazy topic of itself because I remember you know speaking about it like you know our people have moved. You know what I'm saying? If we were Voyagers, bro, we was moving. You know what I'm saying? Like
Sure.
the we've gone to you know for real far ends of the earth. You know what I mean? Like we're all from California.
Yeah,
We trip out when we find out there's polys in Minnesota.
for sure.
We trip out when there's polys in Missouri. Like, you know, why I would, you know, most of them were like, nah, there ain't no polys out there. I'm like, nah, man, I know some polys in Maine.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So like if we're going any further than that, we're going to different countries. It just starts to mind blowing you in the fact that, you know, he seeks to learn
he's
about
trying.
the culture. You know what I mean? He's trying.
yeah,
Like
and that was inspiring
awesome,
to me
man.
because you know I grew up right here around nothing but you know LA County. It's a grip.
Mhm.
Long Beach alone is so many, and you know I had all of my grandparents growing up, and I never took it upon myself to learn anything about the culture. Man, I was like, you know, I'm from Long Beach, and it's whatever. You know, I know I'm Samoan, but at the same time, I didn't grow up in it. I didn't grow up learning about it, so it was you know, unfortunately to say it now, but it was like whatever to me.
Mm.
But you know, over the last few years, I started taking pride in it, and you know, realizing that that's you know, regardless of how you feel about it, that's what you are, and that's
Yeah.
who you are.
at the end of the day.
And so to go out there and see him trying so hard, and he's so far away, he never even seen another someone. He's still trying. It's like, man, what am I doing?
What's his name? Shout him out real quick.
Shout out Luis, man.
Luis.
Shout out my boy
Man.
Luis for sure. We'll be back soon to kick it with you again.
Man. If you ever in Costa Rica, man, you gotta tap.
Yeah, man. If you in Costa Rica, hit me. You got to take my boy some type of something.
Yes.
We never had some more.
Oh, you gotta take some Samoan
Never even
food,
heard of
yeah.
a lot of stuff. So, and it was a trip because we checked out of that hotel maybe like 3 days into our trip. Then we had another week elsewhere, and a bunch of shit happened in the meantime. But on our very last day, when we were headed back to the airport, we happened to stop somewhere, and our driver, shout out Milton too. Our driver hopped out and he said what's up to somebody across the street, and he went to do what he had to do. And when we looked back, it was Luis' house. He was waving at Luis' pops. So we was like, whoa.
That's crazy.
So, you know, we wanted to link up with him before we left, but he was busy working. So it was crazy that on our last day, we got to meet him and his girl he been telling us about and his daughter. So shout out to them, man.
That's
So,
dope. Has he ever been to the States before?
he never been to the States either, no. He said it's hard for him to get a visa to come out here, so. And then it's expensive to go straight to Samoa from there, so.
Have you been to Samoa?
Not yet, no. But as I get older, it's moving higher up the list, man.
Yeah, same here, man.
I gotta go tap in with the motherland, man. But that's gonna be different. I feel like everywhere else I've been has been, you know, obviously we definitely want to experience the cultures and everybody's culture, but you know, at the end of the day, it's pretty much a vacation for us.
Yeah.
But I feel like going to Samoa is gonna be different, bro. Like that's not a vacation.
You're gonna be doing chores for sure.
I'm cool with that. You know, I want to be fully immersed
Yeah.
in it. I'm trying to learn the language before I go back and everything, but that's gonna be a different one for sure. I don't even think I'm ready to go back yet.
That's gonna be a life-changing experience.
It's gonna be life changing for sure. Yeah, I might not come back from that one for sure.
Man, you gonna stay out there?
Hey man, I almost stayed in Costa Rica, so you never know.
Damn. Nah,
I think I'm spoiled. I think I'm spoiled. Shout out to all my poly, bro. You know I'm spoiled as hell, but I'm from the U.S., man.
Well, man.
You know, yeah, your cousins come from Samoa, man. They be so amazed.
They be so amazed, bro. Like, oh man.
And you just be thinking that everything is normal, but they be like,
Nah, it ain't normal.
You gotta-
Yeah, it's not normal, man. So, you know, we got, at the end of the day, every time, you know, someone comes back from Ireland, you know what I'm saying? Like, I live in a house full of Tongans. I grew up Samoan. I see all of my people come. When they come overseas, I'm like, man, like, they're amazed every single time. I'm like, man, it's a humbling experience.
Yeah.
It's a humbling experience, and it makes me appreciate everything that I got. And it makes me want to go back. Now that, you know, we're jumping into something bigger than us now, I feel like, you know, there will be a time where we'll be able to come over there, man. We're going to be able to come. I'm excited.
To do a show out there would be like
Ooh,
ultimate,
yeah.
bro. Go out there for a reason with a purpose. You know what I'm saying?
that'd be amazing.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Kind of diving back a little bit to some of the earlier music. I know you that Sleepwalker album that Sammy J put out.
Mm-hmm.
Was it his debut album or one of his earlier projects? But I know you guys had a joint on there, man, and I think that's really cool. I feel like that's kind of one of those hidden gems that you got to go back to look at the discography and be like, damn, Dallas and Sammy J did a joint. I know you and Seth did stuff and Ado, but that one was probably at the time seemed like a out of nowhere collab.
Right.
So like,
That's crazy.
yeah, like could you talk about your relationship with Sammy, man? Because that was like early Sammy.
So I don't know, man. Sammy been on for a long time.
Early to us, man. I think
okay.
in the
I
States
felt
over here.
yeah, because that was like 2014 or 15.
I couldn't even tell you.
It was
So
good.
yeah, it was like mid
Yeah.
this past decade.
Yeah,
so,
no, shout out Sammy J, man. And shout out Chaz. That's really how that whole thing came about. Chaz was engineering at that studio, and he was producing on Sammy's album. And so I don't know if it was that he kind of pushed the issue for me or Sammy already wanted a rapper on it, but it was kind of one of those situations where it was right place, right time.
Yeah.
And I happened to be in the studio, and you know, I got the opportunity. I was like, yeah, let's run it. And a crazy story, I think Spawn Breezy was at the studio in the other room the same night. So he was like in the little lobby in between the studios. And when I came out from recording it, I got up with him, linked, you know, not linked up with him, but met him. He was like, yo, that was tight. So that was kind of dope too. That's a little behind the scenes nobody knew, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. Shout out to Sammy though, because that was a big look for me at the time for sure. And I think that song is aging well too.
Yeah, no. Shout out to Sammy, man. We got to get him on here soon. But
Definitely.
on the topic of Sammy, one thing, and we've had a lot of conversations off camera, just at different things. And one thing I always love about Sammy is he's always going to just let you know what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Off
He's
the bat.
straightforward.
Off the bat.
Sure.
He's just going to let you know what it is.
Sure.
Yeah.
I remember something he had posted recently that he had shared publicly was that, you know, everybody had been asking for the music, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I remember talking with Sammy one time, he was like, man, he's like, I be going through shit, you know what I'm saying? And the music is kind of come second to whatever he's going through. And he shared that publicly on one of his recent posts. But it's got me thinking, like as an artist, as a creative, as anyone that puts something together that started off in their mind and they put something out there. You know, I think there's a certain level of pressure that you feel sometimes when you put something out people love, and then they have a certain expectation of a timetable and saying, and they don't realize that, you know, a lot of living has to take place in order to create quality art. You know what I'm saying? And so in your experience, you know, looking at when you first came into the game. I know there was sometimes gaps in between. And
Definitely.
how would you describe kind of like your absence or how your kind of your time away from music, like
Right.
kind of going to that?
Yeah, man. Like you said, it's just a lot of living that has to happen. And I was going through a lot in my personal life, as we all are.
Mm-hmm.
And, just trying to figure out life in general, not even just as a musician or as an artist. And I think that's probably what contributed the most to me taking so long of breaks in between. And then, I feel like in those gaps, though, is where I grew in order to be able to come back and say something worth saying. Because I never really felt like if I can't add something to the game or if I don't have nothing to rap about, I'm just not gonna rap. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And I know that kind of doesn't fit with the business of it. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I've always done things my way, and it's like, 10 years later, I'm still here. But at the same time, I do look back and wish I had some more in my catalog, because I have songs that'll never see the light of day because it's over with now. But 5-6 years ago, that I probably should have just, put out anyway. But I'm always trying to perfect everything and make sure that, aside from just releasing something just to be releasing it, I want to make sure that I'm giving out some work putting out. You know what I'm saying?
That's true, man. Because I mean, the idea of only feeling like you want to put something out when you have something to say or it makes sense. Because I mean, I probably had hounded you for,
Don't say hounded, man. We good, bro.
No, I'm saying I was pushing the issue. You know what I'm saying? I was tapping in with you quite frequently, trying to get something going. But I think the common theme that we both shared was when it made sense, when the time was right. And so now that you're putting more music out right now, you had a show recently. Like, what do you feel like has led to kind of a resurgence of Dallas on the scene right now?
Man, I feel like it's just that time, bro. Like, I learned a lot over the years, and we've been making a lot of good music over the years too that just doesn't come out. And I just feel like it's that time, man. Like, everything's been aligning for me personally, and just as a musician, it's like, I think in the past I've been kind of afraid to put out anything that I feel is not perfect, and just chasing that perfection of every song, every freestyle, every project, every video, every graphic, flyer, anything that has to do with me with my name on it. I want it to look perfect. But I think I don't want to sell myself, but being older now, it's like, man, you got to let go of that, bro. You got to find the beauty in the imperfect things. And, most of the time, that's probably what's going to connect with people who listen to it more, is that it's not perfect. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, like, we like that unreleased song with the rough mix better than when you polished it up and put it out with the music video. So I think now it's like, man, not only am I getting older, but I feel like I'm more poised now to do it than ever before.
Man,
And a lot of times too, I'll write a song and maybe in 6 months I'll feel like, man, it's weak. The verse is terrible. I got better since then, and so I'll do it again. And it's just that constant cycle of getting better, but not having put the music out in between time. You know what I'm saying? So if I feel like where I'm at now is leaps and bounds from the last song I made, you'll never hear the last song. But now I'm getting to a point where it's like, you know what? Everything that I'm making is kind of up to par. Like, I put in the time to kind of be consistent in my sound. And I guess I just found it without y'all seeing, what happened over the last 10 years. But it's definitely been happening. So I feel like if not now, then when,
Bro, how do you feel about the way people consume music in this day and age? And I ask that because as an artist, you can spend months, years working on a project, a song, whatever, and the amount of people are excited to receive it, but within 3 or 4 days, because there's just such an abundance of content being poured out, like they on to the next thing. You know what I'm saying? And as an artist, how do you kind of how do you feel about that? About the way people consume art this day?
It's tough, bro. Cause like, everything come and go so quick. I feel like really though, our priority, like I was saying earlier, when we making the music, is just to make the music to the best of our ability. And there'll be a time, when it's time to think about the rollout, then we'll go that route. But it's tough, man. It's so much, especially on Instagram. It's like you swipe some, you'll listen to it like, damn, that's hard, repost it. 2 days, you don't think about it no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's hard. I think if anybody had the code, you know, they'll be out of here. It's tough to crack that one, but you know, we're gonna find something. We're gonna find a way for sure. I think you got to stand out. One for sure. You got to make sure that it's different, but I also don't want to be different just for the sake of being different. You know,
Right,
you got to
yeah.
be yourself. So
Well, I know like the majority of your catalog is rooted in storytelling and truth and, you know, challenging certain ideas about the way we think. But do you have just one song in the catalog where you just talking your shit from top to bottom? Okay.
I got a grip. I got a grip, bro.
we need that to leak because I feel like niggas be forgetting sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I know you just dropped the freestyle.
Back then's leaning that way.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I'm like, okay, just every now and then, just throw one of those out there. You know what I'm saying, just in case y'all niggas forgot. You know what I'm saying? Who really?
And that's I think that's just how we perceive things, right? Because like I guess I won't ask the question. I guess I'll just say it as a comment. Like Dallas&Kacey is literally one of the best fucking musicians in this goddamn game. Period.
Appreciate it.
You feel me? Like I was gonna ask the question, but I was like, you know what? Let me just say it. You feel me? Because I think people need to know and understand. Like you need to go back and go listen to his catalog. You need to go back and go see all of the shit he puts out. The shit he puts out, bro, is of quality, bro. We talking about the writing to the actual visuals. We're talking about the visuals, bro. We're talking about the graphics, bro. If you didn't know, he's a graphic designer, bro. He's crazy. He's crazy talented. So like I wanted to kind of jump into that conversation of talk your shit. Like you feel me? Do you jump back into this game? Do you feel that when you make this next step, do you feel like your presence is gonna be felt? Because I ain't gonna lie, nigga, we waiting, bro. We waiting, man. You know what I'm saying? We at the edge of our seats type shit.
I mean, I would hope so, you know, and I think my presence will be felt, but at the same time, I don't want it to be felt in that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do believe that everything that you said, you know, you give me my flowers, I'm gonna water them. And I appreciate it, but I don't want to be known as like the braggadocious, you know what I'm saying? And I think if my presence is to be felt, it would be for the message that I'm sharing and the quality of the music. And, you know, the bars will still be there too.
Yeah.
But I don't want that to be my leading foot where it's like, oh, he rap about how good he rap. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's cool.
You know some
and
of those
we all
guys.
love to do it.
You know some of those guys.
and that's as a rapper, you know, that's all, you know, if you grew up on Wayne, that's what you're going to rap about, you know?
But I feel like say, for example, like using the word rapper, right? I feel like it goes down a certain hat you have to wear. You know what I'm saying? Because like he's following the artistry of it. You know what I'm saying?
It's only in rap that you got to be the best, right? Nobody in country saying I'm the best country. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Why is it in rap? But you know what I'm saying? It's a sport. I get it. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain level of competition, and especially if you're in a certain lane within rap, there's even an extra level of competition. But you know, it is great for people just to create art for the sense of creating art, and you know, kind of leaving that is. But you know, still. You know, you're not one to play with, and
you gotta pop out sometimes.
Not one to play with though. For
you know,
and you know, I always joke about it, but man, I love if somebody diss me. I'm chilling. I swear I'm chilling. You know what I mean? But
you know, I'm gonna just talk about it now right here on the podcast.
I'm gonna go to the studio right now.
Oh shit!
I'm playing, man.
Nah. Hey man, you know we ain't trying to send no shots to nobody, man. But I feel like in that sense, you know, in our community, bro, that we all about love. You know what I mean? Like there ain't no spice. You know, there ain't no.
That's
spice,
how I come
you know
to. I lead with love too, man. But
lead with love.
You know, if anybody feeling froggy, go ahead and jump. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
man. If we have one of them things going, like bar for bar, battle rap, whatever the case is, this song after this song.
There ain't too many that could be in that. You know what I'm saying? It's a different type of caliber artist. To you know, it's only a handful of people that could really hang. So I agree. That would be a dope concept. But I mean, the list is
short.
One hand.
If you feel like you are the one, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and comment that you are the shit. I'm gonna go and I'll check.
Hey, and don't rap in the
I'll let you know.
Hey, don't rap in the comments either. I don't want to see a whole 16 in the
verse. No, bro. Show me some music, man.
Nah, I come in peace, bro.
Nah, I feel it.
I do like rapping like that though. Like the back then freestyle felt good to just
remind them every now and then.
Even like going to Desi G. Shout out Desi G on that.
Yep, y'all snapped on that.
Yeah, for sure. So those are always fun to do, but it's definitely not something that I just like. You know, I don't want that to be my whole thing.
What do you feel like you say your influence comes from like a lot of the influences from your family, from the music side of things. But if you were to give it like a genre, a sort of sense, like would you say it comes from like an R&B feel? Does it come from that oldie sense, or maybe it's even country? You know, maybe that's something that we don't know. Like Where does that influence come from?
Not too much country, man. I definitely listen to a lot of R&B, a lot of soul, but also a lot of rap too. Oldies. I listen to a lot of disco, you know. But as a rapper, man, I grew up influenced by so many. Like I wanted to rap on the chop samples like Kanye, but you know, make it sound smooth like Jay-Z, but then make it look cool like Juve. And so, you know, everybody want bars like M, bars like Wayne, and so, you know, I just feel like growing up, I was so immersed in rap culture and hip hop in general. You know, everybody wanted to dress like Pharrell, and as you get older and just being influenced by all of these things, and also still just being yourself, it kind of just come out of you, however it does. But definitely, there's no shortage of variety in what I listen to. Probably on a day-to-day, I don't listen to too much rap now. Like I'm all Sade. I listen to a lot of Sir.
Sir's crazy.
Yeah, man, I be chilling on a day-to-day. But early in my life, when all the influences were a lot heavier, it was all that for sure.
Yeah, man, it's the type of music you play in the car when you just running your errands and stuff like that. As you get older, you know what I'm saying. We're Dante and I.
You trying to hear all that?
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to smooth my day out, but
Sure.
when the time comes, you're gonna turn up. But
we'll still play Boosie on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, you feel?
Of course.
Sure.
I like reggae. I like listening to reggae.
Oh yeah, I like
Just like man, load me out.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like I've been listening to a lot of rap like this past year. Like last year I was listening to a lot of rap, and I was like, yeah, I think it's time for me to just take a break from it all. Like I already know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I might as well just go back to my roots. Like
reggae is like in the same category as gospel to me. Like if you really listen to what they sing about, yeah, it feel good, but it's love and heartbreak and liberation and all those songs, man. Those heal your spirit for sure.
Coming with age, that was something that I started to hear more because I grew up with reggae with
sure.
my mom and all her siblings, but I didn't understand it quite much until I got older.
Yeah.
As I started getting older and I really started to like listen to the lyrics, I'm like, damn, they were going through something at this time.
Yeah, for sure.
Like a real life situation in their lives,
but they sang
amongst their
through it.
communities,
For
and
sure.
the way that they delivered it was so crazy. Like it's a number one hit, right? And then I'm listening to it in a way of like, what are this? I'm just listening to because I love the beat, but then I start listening to what they're talking about. I'm like, man, like that hit hard.
Yeah, revolting against the system and freeing out people, and they speak about God and everything. Bro.
Yeah,
bro. On Peaceful, a joint that you dropped earlier this year.
Yep.
Chad shot the visuals for that.
Definitely.
I love how you guys rolled it out. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that.
It was very strategic. But diving into that song, there's a certain point where you touched on the loss of your grandmother and how that had a big effect. Because you talked about how instrumental she was in your earlier years, and
for sure,
losing someone like that as an adult. You know what I'm saying? You experienced that differently. How did the loss of her affect you?
It was tough, man. Because she was there throughout my whole life, and I also lost my grandfather when I was in high school, and I was close with him also. So, but I was a lot younger, But oh, there you go.
Yeah.
But I feel like losing her as an adult, I mean, it's never easy. But I was also at a point where I was, even before she passed, just for myself, I was looking into like, what is the meaning of life, and why are we here, and where do we go, and what are we supposed to do while we here? And I feel like just the things that I was learning in that time period before she passed helped me to deal with her passing, because it's like, she back one with the source. I think that's what I said in the song.
Mm-hmm.
She back one with the source now. She was in a lot of pain when she was here, and where in the past I would kind of feel, I don't want to say it like that, but in the past, like dealing with it, I would kind of be in my own feelings, as opposed to like thinking about it from her perspective. You know what I mean? And so that kind of helped me deal with it. It's never easy, and I would hesitate to even say that it gets easier. You know what I mean? We still going through it. Everybody as a family, but her presence is felt though, for sure.
And that's dope that you shared the journey that one experiences when losing a loved one. I think on the feeling of losing, whether it's a loved one or even just taking an L in life in general, I think at least for me, man, like it would kind of lead you to kind of question God and your relationship. It changes a lot of things. It changes the way you see a lot of things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I think at least for me in my life, the reason why peaceful related to me was because you got to start really kind of searching for truth, and I feel like even truth evolves over time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Your perspective of it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm at a point in my life where music like that really resonates with me because I'm trying to evolve. I'm trying to challenge certain things that are in my mind that, you know what I'm saying, that I feel like aren't right. I'm trying to challenge it and figure out why am I
Right.
so connected to this particular feeling or emotion or, a behavior, right? I'm trying to change. And so that's one thing that really why I hit you. I hit this guy a lot, man. Sometimes a bar or a song I might listen, I might just hit him like, hey bro, this shit, you know what I'm saying? And a song that you I don't even think you titled it. Is it called Liberation right now? But the song
Right.
you performed at
The open
by the
mic.
Sanctuary, yeah,
Yup.
you was talking about how, just there's certain truths that were hidden from us as a people,
Right.
strategically. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And-
Absolutely.
And the realization of those truths empowers you as an individual, but as a people, and it can change the whole trajectory of a culture. But you got to go search for that truth because they're not just
Not
giving it
there,
out.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took that personal too when I learned a lot about that stuff about Black Saturday and how, like I feel like nowadays if you on that journey of self-discovery and you hit the internet, you're gonna see a lot of Eastern teachings. You're gonna see a lot of Hinduism and you're gonna learn about yoga and meditation. And that's a great route to go, and that can lead you there too. But then when I'm reading these old texts and I'm seeing like, old Samoans used to meditate and they used to fast before making big decisions. And I'm like, well, that hits a little different than me learning about, like yogis of the past. I'm looking at Samoans of the past. They used to do this and it just connects from a different place. And I'm like, man, why we never learn this?
Mm.
I'm a grown man and I'm just learning this, man. And it kind of, it break you down to learn that this stuff has been there the whole time, but it's so far out of reach that it's like, how we supposed to even find that? You feel me? But once you learn it, it definitely gives you like a different sense of power. Like when you step, you're not stepping by yourself, even though you might feel like it sometimes, but you got your family stepping with you, you got your ancestors stepping with you. And I think that more than anything is kind of like the driving force behind why I feel how I feel now is because, like, I'm not just some kid from Long Beach that rap no more. It's like I know who's stepping behind me when I come.
Mm.
So it's impossible for me to come incorrect. Like I was just telling my boy before the thing, it's like, he said, you didn't even look nervous. And I was like, man, in the past, I definitely would be, before a performance, I'll be shaking in my boots. But now I'm to the point where it's like, if this is truly what I feel in my heart, that this is what I'm supposed to be doing with my life, then what you nervous for?
Yeah.
If this is what you're supposed to be doing, then just do it. And there's nothing else to it. And I feel like, we all pray about what we want or meditate or manifest or whatever we want to call it. But at the end of that, you still got to do your part. And I feel like that's where a lot of people fall short. Is like, we can't be hoping and wishing. We got to do our part too. And then from there, whatever happens, happens. But all you can do is your part. You feel me? And then from there, let him show off with you from there, for sure.
That's a bar, man.
That's a boy right there.
How would you describe your purpose? Have you discovered it fully? Do you feel like you're living it? Like,
man, I know it sounds simple, but for me, that's a loaded question, bro, because I know there's a lot of duality in this lifetime. And so part of me feels like, maybe as a human, we might not have a purpose, We might just be another living thing like a flower or a tree, where we just meant to be here and be still and give back to this earth. And when it's time to die, it's time to die.
Mm.
But another part of me feels like everything that my ancestors been through and everything that my family been through, for me to be here, I got to do, X, Y, and Z from this point. Like, if I'm not powered up how I'm feeling now, then who's going to do it,
Mm-hmm.
So much sacrifices went into, for us to even be sitting in a building like this and just pursuing our dreams freely, We're not tied to the responsibilities of family or village or, we don't have to do anything that's prohibiting us from stepping into our light. And so from that aspect, I feel like, man, I got to do it all. I got to do it all, not just for me, but for all our people. So it's just finding that balance between like being happy to be here, but also knowing that, I'm still got a lot of work to do, for sure.
Man, bro, I told you don't have to fight for your questions.
No,
man.
I'm looking at you. You're looking at me. I'm looking at him.
Nah, bro. I guess kind of putting the ball on this, but like, at this particular point in your life, you know, you've taken time that you needed away from music to live life, to gather experiences, to search for truth, right? To heal, to do all these things that humans do, right? At this particular point in your life, you know, with the release of a handful of songs and visuals and shows, where do you see musically your path forming out in the next 6 months to a year from now? What's that looking like?
6 months a good timetable, man. We looking I don't want to let the cat out the bag.
I'm trying to get this.
Yeah, this guy, bro. I was like, he's not gonna get this one. Yo, Dallas not gonna give you this one, man. I was like, he's not gonna do it, man.
He tried to ask me real sincere.
I was looking at him. I was like, bro, I know where you're trying to go.
Yeah,
for real.
He asked that real sincere, trying to get that up out of me. Nah, but for sure, I would say comfortably, like first quarter next year, we gonna do the whole thing.
Let's get it.
So,
Let's get it.
Nah, I think it's only right, man, because I feel like the waters, you tested them, and the response has been very well. Like when I see the drops and I see the excitement in the fans, and I'm like, yeah, I feel like there's a need for more music like yours, man. You know, I love to be able to turn on some, I don't even say the artist name, but there's a certain artist that makes me feel good. But honestly, I'm only listening to that like 20% of the time. The other 80% of my life, but I'm going to work, I'm dealing with shit, I'm playing something that's going to uplift my spirits, that's going to feed my mind, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like there is a huge demand for your artistry. So
I appreciate it. Yeah, there's a few aspects to that too. Like I feel like 10 years plus in the game, I owe it to the people who's been supporting me from the jump to do this the right way. You know, and while I have been you know, taking my time with it and kind of doing it my way, it's like, man, everybody who's had your back up until this point wants to see you do what you also want to do. Yeah. So why are we not channeling all that support and that love and that energy into, you know, where you want to go and just do it? And then also, like you said, as far as my place in the scope of all the rest of the music that's coming out, I feel a sense of responsibility for that too, because like Quick told us, and I think it was like 99, Rhythmalism. It might have been 98, but he said it and he used a gangster. He was like, you know, what's the bar? Most don't realize the power of lyrics because when you rap about death, you talking to spirits. Mm-hmm. And damn, I can't remember the whole thing. You know what I'm talking about?
He's a gangster.
He's a gangster, yeah.
Gangster, yep.
Yeah, he said, when you rap about death, you talking to spirits.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I can't remember the whole thing, but he told us right there, man. And, you know, everybody knows that it's bad in the hood, so check what you rapping about if it ain't to the good. And so from that sense, I feel a sense of responsibility too. Like, man, I got to, you know, I know what we creating with and what intention that we put into this music. And so I want this to carve out its own spot amongst everything else that's out there. Because there's a space for it too. You know, I like to turn up to some random shit too.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, get it cracking, but
we have those conversations internally like, man, there's so many clout opportunities we could have taken, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, they could have propelled us even further number-wise. We could have been a talker, but I'm like,
it's just not us.
At the same time, I'm like, but that shit is so short-lived, you know what I'm saying? And once you create that, you got to keep going.
You got to keep it going.
And you see so many people in the public space where they started off in a good place, and because they started that clout, it just took them a whole different. And so I'm like, I'm okay with the slow growth and the slow progression because we're gonna build it in a way that it can't be taken down.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It'll stand the test of time. So it very much relates to your style of making music. Is you're gonna put something out that you can be proud of 10, 15 years from now.
Yes.
So you know what I'm saying? And so I think we kind of push
hold
our time.
Hold on. Hold on. He done took all this everything. Y'all see this episode? It was a shade episode. Nah, but I want like
I warned him.
No, he did. Before we finish off, I would love to just like I want to just dive into this like last topic, bro. I feel like you have a lot of game built up in your head, man. I want to kind of pick your brain a little bit, man. Sure. Like you're an entrepreneur, man. You got multiple brands out besides just the music, man. You're a businessman.
Merch, graphic design, music.
Yes, he does it all, man. Go check him out. But I wanted to just kind of ask, like, you know, how do you, first off, how do you balance all that? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you're not just a music artist. You know what I'm saying? You're doing multiple types of businesses. You're in different industries.
Yeah, for sure.
So I wanted to just ask, like, you know, what keeps you motivated and what started that drive? Because, and actually, what started the creativity of it all? Because,
man, I think that was like, while I was still in high school, I was making Cloud 7 shirts just for myself.
Yeah. Shout out Class 7, man. If you
I
go get you
appreciate it,
some.
man. And I think that was just like I said, going back to who I was influenced by in the culture. Like at that time, everybody had their own brand. You know, Diddy had what he had, Sean John,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was
Rockaware.
Rockaware, and then there was like Pharrell doing the Bape thing with the ice cream. And so everybody that I looked up to had their own thing, you know. So I wanted to do my own thing too. So that was in high school. I started making my own shirts. And then from there, people was like, hey, that's hard. So I started selling them a little bit. And then after high school, I was like, man, I might as well just, you know, make it a whole line. And so I think that was the start of it for me for sure. And at the beginning, Chaz was doing all my designing. So, but it was to the point where I'm like over his shoulder, like scoot that over a little bit, scoot this over a little bit. So he was like, man, I just need to teach you how to use the program so you can leave me alone. So Chaz taught me how to use Photoshop like dozen plus years ago. And I just been getting better and better from there. And then with Put It Down, dropping earlier this year, I just had an idea to do a brand, but it didn't make sense to drop the designs under Cloud 7.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, I always wanted to do something for the city. And also I feel like there's Long Beach brands, but there's also not that one brand that's for the demographic of Long Beach that I associate with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like shout out to all the brands out there, but I felt like there was a gap that could be filled. And so I just took all the experience that I had from building out Cloud 7 and putting that all into Put It Down from the start of it. You know, getting the paperwork right from day one and making sure that, you know, when you roll it out, it looked right. And
Yeah.
so I think that's when it started though, for sure, is wanting to do my own thing in high school. Like I want the exclusive, but I can't afford a closet full of Bape, so I'm gonna just go my own thing, you know.
Thank you, man. I just had to bring that up because like that's the one when you know, I see you every once in a while like out in public. You know, it'd be random too. I'd be just running into like
sure.
Dallas, like you know what I'm saying.
I seen you at the beach.
Yeah, I'm like, what the heck? Hella random, but like I do keep up with you on your socials, and like I want you to know that what you're doing is like an inspiring thing. Like I know that you know we're all kind of jumping into a whole bunch of different things right now, but you know the route you're going down, bro, I aspire to be just like that.
I appreciate
You feel me?
it.
So I just want you to know that you're very inspiring, and just keep on doing what you're doing, man. Because I'll come right behind you, though. You know what I'm saying? I'll come right behind you, bro.
I
You know what I'm
appreciate
saying?
you, man, for sure.
Yeah, man. Your presence from entry point to the game, to the culture, has been felt, man. And now that you've gained more wisdom, more experience, I know that influence is going to be felt even stronger through the music, through whatever other avenues you choose to express
God
yourself
willing,
in.
for sure.
Man. So, like I said, bucket list item for me, man, for the team, man. He came through and just amazing conversation. Maybe, you know, somewhere down the line we can get a freestyle, you know what I'm saying? I know.
Oh, yeah, say less.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Putting it out there. But yeah, you know, shit,
I
bro, just
appreciate y'all having me, man. It's been a long
Thanks for
time
being
coming.
there, man.
For sure.
much love, man. If you haven't, man, I know his stuff sells out so fast, but the next time you see the Put It Down,
Yeah, man, grab something.
don't wait, man, because I waited, it was gone. You know what I'm saying? It was just
I waited and it was gone. I was up on the shit before it got posted. I was like, fuck.
Sure,
I was hella mad.
yeah.
No, shout out to all the people though. They showed crazy support for that for sure. There's a lot of people from Long Beach, and everybody who from here is proud to be from here. So
Yep.
appreciate y'all.
Shout out to the culture, man. Shout out to anybody that's putting out anything that's uplifting our people,
Yes.
that's you know, bringing us together, man. If you have something out there that you want us to put on the show, man, run it by us, man. If it makes sense, we'll share it on the next episode or future episodes, man. So shout out to all y'all. Thank y'all for tapping in. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, man. We'll see y'all on the next round, man.